Um, um, let's get the um, text crispier.
There's people fighting to survive, so live on for that. You know what I mean? Live the life that they wish they could live.
So maybe man just do ×2 here. Let's see how is this gonna work.
Live the life that they wish they could live.
Yeah. So this is twice as big.
808s held down like a paperweight. She just wanna come around, but I made a way. Want my money needed now on a paper chase. Make the bass blow out with the 808s, out with the 808s, down like a paperweight. She just wanna come around, but I made a way. Want my money needed now on a paper chase. Make the bass blow out with the 808s, out with the 808s, way. They just told me slow my drinking like the AA.
So an Atlas probably also yeah, two times.
Took it to my place, hey, thinking how I'm picking, then you look up in the trap. Kick it with the click and keep on creeping with the gap. Acting all the act, don't know how to act. Some nigga check my shit and my bitch brought it right back. It's like that way, my dogs bite back. Hey, my fabric cost you running, I ain't check the price tag.
I'm just gonna get it like this and then CTX scale. No. I probably don't have to do this. And when we are scaling, we have to do 0.5 probably. But it didn't have help.
I'm just making my rounds like it's make a break. I don't fuck with clowns, I don't play with fake. I'm just rolling up loud like a native way, loud like a native way. Detonate, medicate, cook a bomb and detonate. I'm trapping in the booster, put that right up on my resume. I levitate, elevate, separate from any hate. I'm smoking on that presidential, looking like the head of state. I'm getting paid every day, getting laid every way. My homies had to get away, so pulling as the getaway. Yo way, Chevrolet, upgrade, escalate. Still I'm moving cautious if I don't, they might interrogate. Getting A's, medicate, cook a bomb and detonate. I'm trapping in the booster, put that right up on my resume. I let him hate, ventilate, penetrate their mental state. Peeping from my angles, got them looking like the NSA. Rep champ, heavyweight, yo clamp, featherweight. All I did was take a chance, you would just go hesitate. Network, escalate, network, making plays. Life would give me lemons, I put lean up in my lemonade. I just threw some hundreds in the club like it's a bank. Fucking up the function, need a
So
face with a crank.
let's think through this.
I've been yelling for the options, spraying like a tank. I get out a drink, packing on the stank. My hustle been a struggle like I'm
So we have the canvas. Canvas is here, and then this thing, Atlas, is gonna take oh, canvas. The Atlas is
yeah, who left the keys to the all-white Beamer? I'ma hop in there, take a four spinner. Down Melrose, all the moms look like old 3 Chris Jenner when I see my wiener. Oh, I don't even know how to drive. I'ma drive slow so the cops don't mind. Hottie ho,
I can't wrap my head around this.
Take a Polaroid that lasts longer.
So this is the Atlas in the normal case. Let's take it like this. So this is the Atlas is exactly the same size. So when I draw something here, Oh, well, I draw something on this thing. It gets drawn at the exact same size over on the canvas. So what I want is so my atlas is gonna have a specific size. Make the canvas bigger, so everything on the canvas is bigger, and I have to scale the atlas to oh fuck. So when I set the scale, I'm like, everything is twice as small. Well, the easy thing would be to just multiply this by 2 here. 2 and so this has scaled everything here, and when I draw it in here, draw images, yeah, and this, and anyways, by the end of it, this is not how this is gonna be drawn. So ideally, this thing I'm gonna remove this. Doesn't make any sense. As this thing basically has to be 2 times this, and then when I'm drawing it, I have to scale it down by 2. Weirdly enough, this has no impact whatsoever. do have to scale the canvas by twice. Scale two, and okay, and then when I draw it in here, I still image trans element and what is it? Weak position, and this is the thing. And then we want to scale it down to canvas width, canvas height, and draw image with off-screen canvas, and yeah, and this should be. Do I have it somewhere? As F64, and same for you as F64. The thing is that this is gonna stretch what is this? DXTY, destination width, destination height. I'm really not good at this shit. Oh yeah, but it has it. This should not be this. It should be like this, maybe, to like avoid squashing it. Yeah, now it gives us a crispier text. But these magic numbers should disappear. Anyways, so I'm gonna go back to the rasterizer and let's work on the hang on the scroll would be good. So the text parameters are gonna be a font name, font size, a max width, and the max height. Yeah, max height, and this is an option. Also same thing, and it's gonna be F64, and also pub scroll, pause scroll position, and that's gonna be a same thing option. two scroll positions basically, F64, F64, and I'm gonna let me remove all these. What else? Raw image. Yeah, I'm gonna remove this. Also, for the time being, I'm gonna disable this thing, the times 2 here and here. Oh, and this is not gonna work because max height none, and scroll pause is also gonna be none. Okay, let's get it working again. So this is the text as we have it right now. So now let's try and make it scroll. So let's say that first of all the max height is gonna be how much is this? This seems like this is 200 pixels, so let's say 200. Same thing, 200. And this has to be some. So I think what I want from this is that four possibilities. So max width will always be there. Yeah, let's say that max width would always be there because it, like, you're never gonna have more. Like, you can't just go over this width. Height wise, we can always scroll. So if there's some cases, let's think through this. So either we provide, so it's the max height is none. So if max height is none, we ignore the scroll position. Why? So scroll position scroll pose Y is ignored, and scroll pose X is taken into this, is used. So when we're gonna request space, we're gonna request the full height. If max height is sum xy, what do we have? So we have to, I think the easiest way would be, or like figure out we go back to this and I'll click this. Let's say this is my text, full text, with the min width and we haven't applied the max height, so we need it to be here. This is max W, and this is max H. So we'll have to take this and fit it in here, and then so scroll position Y. First things first. See, scroll pause doesn't make sense to be so either we can have two things, basically change this text param to take two things, so scroll size and text. Which are both let's do this, but size gonna be this, and say F64, F64, and same thing, F64, and yeah, basically one of them is gonna be this. Give me a second. Okay, so one of them is gonna be this. This is like yeah, max width and max H. And then this one is the second one, which is the scroll view size. Scroll or view size, view S, view width, and view H. And this I can remove. And then yeah, the thing is that this thing is not so this one is probably like some H or none. Yeah, so and when we are drawing the text, we draw it into this thing, and we need also two more values, which are gonna be scroll pose, which has X and a Y. And then when we are drawing this, it's basically we take this thing that we've already drawn, and then this is like scroll position 0 0, and then here is like here's when the y goes up. Also for this thing we have to make sure that x is gonna be x is between max height x and 0, more or less. Maybe add like some over scroll, so this can go a little bit over and this can go a little bit well, yeah, this we can have like -5 here, +5 here, so we can like basically when you're over scrolling, we're going like this and then like this with the text on both sides. And this is for y. Anyway, and so when the so what's gonna be tricky is that we have our lines here. So we have first line, second line, and so on and so forth. So when we are rendering, this is what's actually rendered. This is what's rendered. So when we're rendering in here, we'll have to make sure to so we have to make sure that we are rendering just this part of the text, the part that fits in here, with the scroll added, instead of having to render the whole text all the way down. So we are always rendering this much view W, view height, no matter what. It's just that the parts that we are rendering the text. Maybe what we can do is render a little bit extra over and under, so that when the scroll happens, we see it. Well, let's see. Okay, let's see. I think I'm gonna keep it like this for now. And technically, we should always have a max height also, because when let me take, yeah, this like max height is in here. Like there is no point of rendering text that's under the page, because the user will have to scroll anyway to get somewhere. So this also probably will have to be a required value. Mismatch types, yeah. So, and what's happening with this? This won't, yeah. And this is useless. And scroll position none is this just basically means okay we are gonna we haven't scrolled by default. Let's say is gonna be 0 0 if none is provided. Oh yeah, so let's see. Now that we have those two things, what we can do is inside draw yeah we have to bother. So this is we extract the words, we do the whole line breaking thing, and then we apply the bidirectional algorithm that is telling me like, oh, these words have to be flipped around for Arabic languages and so on and so forth. And yeah, this just gives me the width and height that I have to request for the rectangle, and then I get this rectangle. So technically height also should be max height. I think what I need to do is check if Canvas 2D has like some sort of clipping thing. Canvas clip method. So the Canvas turns the current of given path into the current clipping range, where is clipping range and a circular begin path. Oh yeah, so it's very easy basically. This is what we have to do. Have to begin path, create the rectangle clip thing. So here probably I have to do ctx dot begin path, ctx dot rect. So, and the rectangle is, because we translated, this is gonna be 0 0 0 and rect dot width, rect dot height, and then I do ctx dot Clip. Oh yeah, this technically should not do should not change anything. Unfortunately, it did, because because of dummy text of the wasm has been industry standard, blah blah blah. So we're almost there. What if we do it here? I take this as a clipping position, and then I translate there and do my shit. And yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, so depending on where I put the begin path. So I have translated here, and this should be 0, and maybe I can do it like this, because I'm using this because Canvas for some reason draws text from here, top. So I have to move one line down and then draw my minus this probably will fix. Yes, okay, more or less. Maybe. So this gives us the clipping region, which right now is the whole size of the text. And here we said that instead of doing like this, this should be params dot max height. And now everything's gonna be clipped, and the last thing that we need to do is the scrolling part. How am I gonna scroll the text up and down? How am I gonna scroll the text up and down? So maybe ctx.translate. So let's say this is 0, 0, and here we translate by minus params, let's say max height. Where was it? Yeah. I don't know if this is gonna work. And yeah, it's very weird that some of them won't like return stuff and some of them don't. And this probably has to be divided by 2. Why is it divided by 2? No, it's not even divided by 2. Let's do like params font size for now. I just want to see. Oh yeah, so this has pushed it down, so it has to be minus font size. Okay, so we got the scaling thing more or less right. And so we can also maybe for the scroll scroll Y, let's scroll Y, we can make it into a percentage basically. So let's say 1.0 for now, 1.0, and I think I have to go back. Let me do this. Usually I like to do this and then go back to where I get the full text's height. I could have, yeah, anyways. So here I have this is, let's call this let text height. This is ideally if the text was net height params max height, so if the text could be drawn as nicely as we wanted, this is how much space it's gonna take. I think I fucked it up. Let height equals params max height. Let me see. Yeah, so when here we did do ctx translate, x is 0 and y is params font size. So this should scroll one line down. Yeah, like almost a full line down, and then 2 times. And so on and so forth. Yeah. Font family with height. Here I'm gonna keep this here, and then let's say that we have like our let's scroll age. So scroll height is gonna be, let's say 1. So it's scroll height 1. We want this to be 0. Okay. No, never mind. At scroll 1, we want this to be text height minus height. So let's see if that would work. So if I take text height minus h, should minus text height minus height. Yeah, so this scrolls down all the way down. So if in case, and then any values in between, and for 0, basically this should be 0. Yeah, I can just do this scroll height times this. And here we go. So here we have scrolled at 0. Now let's say I want to scroll at 50%, 0.5. So yeah, and 0. It has scrolled at 0. Oh yeah, cool. So my scrolls are so there are many problems that need addressing before we can move on, but maybe I can see like how animatable this is right now. Because I don't have to do all this thing again and again and again for this specific, for one text. Because it's very expensive. Like the text hasn't changed, so all the stuff can be stored somewhere. All this information, which is probably this one, which gives me a vector of lines and like nicely constructed, and then this thing can run whenever. Well, whenever, depending on what changes. Basically, let me see. Let's see. What are the events that can happen? Text change. So when text change, I have to redo everything. So on a text change, I have to redo everything. Now, on a scroll change, I have to recalculate just this part, which is like, okay, I'm gonna redraw the whole rectangle. Well, not even this part, just this part, which is yeah, clear the rect plus change the translate and redraw as is. There is almost no work to be done when we're scrolling. I don't have to recalculate the whole thing. Now on the size change, when the size changes, I just have to recalculate this part. Which basically it does is info start and from or then it does the nope. Yeah, no, that's the thing. This whole part has to be redone on the width change. So if my rectangle becomes skinnier, I have to redo the whole line breaks. Although, like, this part can be avoided. Guess segment properties. What am I doing here? So I don't even have to do this whole thing again and again. It's probably a sub. Yeah, no, not this. This is not even that. It doesn't have to be done. Yeah, it's mostly this part, which is so I calculate the word sizes once, unless the text changes, and then I redo the line breaking and alignment, and the alignment is done in here in the re-rendering. For P, line first word, line equals line. Yeah, because this is basically, yeah, this depends on the max width. That's changed. Oh yeah. Anyways, so eventually I'll have to extract those small pieces that I kind of have extracted, like the construction, each of these constructions, because some parts can be saved and redone only when specific things change. Yeah. Anyways, maybe remove all these console logs. That's just me. I was measuring how long each of these things would take. I don't think I need this anymore. And let's go. I want to see how good this would be if I am stupid enough and just not save anything and scroll up and down as I want. Params, text params. Yeah, this I don't need to care about this. This is just gonna be params dot scroll pause unwrap or, and then the default, let's say, is just gonna be 0.0, and I'm gonna take the one of this, or I can actually even be scroll width and reverse those. Yeah. Oh yeah. So let's go back here and I think I'm still missing things. It's because right now draw, I don't have the thing, the well, I could, let's do it like this. So I'm gonna create a yeah, I think what I can do for now is that this rectangle, I'm just gonna immediately after I'm done, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do self atlas free free. I'm gonna do rect.id. Yeah, I free my, well, this should not be done technically. Like, I should keep this as long as I can. Somewhere to do remove this later, and maybe, yeah, here I is gonna just return me like some ID to the text where I can, or ID or whatever, like some reference that I can modify, and it's gonna decide which part of this drawing, which part should be re-executed depending on what changes and whatnot. Anyways, let's see. So I'm gonna need two things. First things first, I'm gonna take those, at least this thing, let mute params equals this, and then give the params here, and here I have to call this in a loop, and I know that yeah, and this also I can just save somewhere. Let txt equals this, and for now we're not going to change anything about that, but later on we can this can be changed. And So let me create a loop. I just don't remember, like a drawing loop of some sorts. Oh yeah, and then now because I freed it, this is fine. So we draw whatever there was to be drawn, and then yeah. So in my loop, basically, this thing has to be in the loop. So from here to here, and also I will have to probably clear this thing after each loop, but let's see, what was it called? Websys animation frame, request animation frame, and here, yeah, I think I saw it here somewhere. Web audio request animation frame. What the fuck? Oh yeah, I am gonna need. Oh yeah, so I have all these. It doesn't need anything. So features enable all the various APIs. Element, HTML element, node, window. Yeah. So here I'm gonna do request animation frame. F as ref. Should have a document on window. What does it do? So I create a new none. Here we want to call the customer, but only a fixed number of times after it's done. What are all the resources cleaned up? To achieve this, we are using an RC, and the RC will eventually store the closure we want to execute on each frame, but to start out it contains none. After RC is made, and the closure will reference blah blah blah. Window request animation frame, and then how do you call yourself? Bor as ref, as in ref. And what is F though? Oh, this is F. So F is myself. Where am I putting you? I'm just gonna go copy this and figure out stuff as I go. And probably this thing also, I think, is gonna be has to be behind some sort of arc or something, because I'm gonna be mutating it as I go. Yeah, so I have this, and more mute, some close. What do I do with J? Oh yeah, I call myself. Yeah, there's like, and then I'm gonna say J equals borrow mute equals some blah 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 blah. Some closure new move, and this should be okay. it satisfy. What do you need? Let's do this and create our request animation frame thing. Yeah, just put it here, and this is request animation. How is this not? Oh, I have to unwrap, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now the problem is here I have to do another request animation frame. I feel like I'm fucking up something here. Drop our handle to disclosure so that it will get cleaned. Otherwise, yeah, I have to think through this whole nonsense eventually at some point. But for now, let's do it like this. Now the problem is, can I do this? I feel like as soon as I do this, it's gonna be bad. Wow, weirdly enough, it was not bad. Can I do params dot scroll position 0 equals some params scroll position 0. Yeah, let's say if params scroll pause let some pause equals this, then do this, else params scroll pause equals 0, 0, which is useless kind of, but some equals pause dot 0 and then pause dot 1 plus 0.1 and so yeah, this does not feel like, I don't even know how this is gonna work. And then maybe maybe do this also, so that this I don't need, and let's say let I equals 0, and yeah, here we're gonna say I plus equals 1. Yeah, okay, so it almost worked. I just have to context dot clear rect. Clear rect, and this has to be like, oh, it's this one that I have to rasterizer ctx dot clear rect rasterizer canvas width width and height. So I redo this height. This needs to be as f64, and same for this as f64, and I have to do it twice because, well, for now, and do this the same for this thing also. Context clear rect 0 0, and do I have width and height somewhere here? Well, that's fine. I can just do it like this instead of this. I just have to do canvas here, and there we go. So oh yeah, it's the other way around. I have to first clean, then redraw, and then like for each frame. And there you go, more or less. So we do have scrolling, kind of. I can make it really slow so we can see what's happening. Yeah, so at oh yeah, even with the slow ass approach, this is working. Yeah, now I'm gonna keep this, and then everything else can go away. I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this, and this also is not needed. And I'm not mutating. Okay, so the next thing is, so we have max width, max height. Is another value. So this is basically the scrolling view size, and I need another thing that is like the wrap width, basically. Pub yeah, wrap width is f64, And these two, so it's not max width, and then this is like scroll. I have to figure out what is it called? What are HTML scroll with images. Client left, client top. Offset width, client width, and so on and so forth. Yeah. CSS width. Scroll width is the whole thing. I don't know. I'll just come up with my own names. I'll like maybe find like a more let's call this, I don't know, what is this? This is like view scroll view width, and then this thing is gonna be scroll view height. And yeah, this is my text wrap width. Okay. And in here where we are creating the lines, instead of doing this, it's params text wrap width. That's all we have to change in this. And scroll width, scroll view width, scroll view height, text wrap width 200. So basically this means no matter what the I'm just gonna go back to my paint and redraw this. So right now what we have is, this is the view, the scroll view height and width, SW, and this is gonna be SH. And in here we're gonna have the actual text. So this is wrap with www, whatever. Yeah. And height is not, this can be any height. We are not wrapping. And so this small piece here, so this here, we have this, and then we have this. This is the scroll Y, and then this thing is scroll X. Yeah. So what I'm missing is, let's say for the sake of this is that the wrapping has to be done at like 300. I'm gonna rerun this and see if I broke anything. Okay, so I didn't break anything, but weirdly enough, I am at the end, although I would like to be in the beginning of my scroll thing. Yeah, I probably have to do something with this. So it's gonna be minus scrolled width times and this is gonna be wrap params dot wrap text wrap width minus text height minus height. What is height? Height is the actual height of the text. No, the text height is the actual height of the text, and height yeah, minus W. But I suppose this is probably not gonna work, but okay. Let me just check again. Where am I scrolling? Oh yeah, so scroll position is none. So I really have to text wrap width minus width times scroll width. Um, 1.0 minus this and oh yeah, so this thing basically. Okay, I think it makes sense. Let's see, although I don't know how it works on, because oh yeah, let me just, first things first, I'm gonna put the align to start so that my text looks a little bit better. And yeah, I can see that I am too far. I'm too far. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a break and think through this thing a little carefully. Yeah, because right, okay, this is working great. But as soon as I do center, let's say for example, yeah, no. I get what's the problem. I feel like the problem is right here when I'm drawing stuff. I'm probably not using the right. Yeah, it's this thing. Max width is not the right one. This should be text wrapped with. And probably same here somewhere else. No, this is more or less my mistake. Yeah. Oh yeah. Anyways, so I somehow figured it out. So here, let's say, okay, some, and let's say on x we are at 1.0 and y is 0.0. So we should be at all the way to the end. So what's left to do is swap this for RTL. Right to left, although I don't know. So I'm writing in Arabic or whatever. Yeah, so I'm writing in Arabic, and let's check this out for a second. Remove all this and say this is my text. So the text is in yeah, I do have to swap this. I feel like I do have to swap this because okay, if I'm writing in Arabic, my end is here. So I'm writing like this, and the atlas doesn't care about the order. So what's gonna happen is that it's gonna be like, oh yeah, this is your view, and the view is always taken from this to this, which kind of works. I don't know if no, never mind. So basically, what I have to do is in here. Yeah. In this is how we're handling text alignment. So it's basically swapping the aligned end and start if I'm writing from right to left. So I have to do the same with this this thing here, which is this. So this default here should be 1 1 if I'm in if I'm writing in Arabic, and well, 1 1 if it's in right to left, and 0 0 for left to right. Okay, but then so it's basically even bars and chess should just be like this. All those scrolling bars should be on, like, should already be at this position by default. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go take a break and then come back and see get some to do or something going, because right now I don't. I don't know what to go with. Because what do we have right now? We have scrolling is working. I can scroll up and down, left and right. I can request specific sizes. Oh yeah. So I think the next thing is to in here have like some sort of a store where first of all remove this freeing the space of the atlas. This is what we have so far. So basically we have a text. We have some text or a string. This is exactly a string that is request, like that the user requests to have, and we have an atlas, which is a canvas 2D in which we render those things. So, and then we have like all the other texts and so forth that have been put. So the user goes like, okay, I want to put this text on the screen somewhere. So it requests, they request a spot. So we give them a spot, and they put this in here. And so the text gets put in here, and the atlas gives us a handle, a pointer back. Gives us a pointer back where we can free this piece of code, meaning like once it's free, we can draw over it again, and so on and so forth. This is how it's handled right now. So we're handling individual rectangles, and so what happens is, let's say, oh yeah, it's not just the string itself, by the way. So we have like, this is a string plus some sort of parameters that we have about how the string should be rendered. So there is like a small piece of, well, a piece of code here that does the whole like rendering and so on and so forth. Then that piece of text requests, that piece of code requests us a rectangle from the atlas. The atlas goes like, oh, like, here is a spot you can render yourself. So it takes this and renders it. So what happens is that we should return something to the user back. Should give you back some kind of a hidden point object or something where you can change stuff. And what we're gonna do under the hood is, first of all, depending on the stuff you change, let's say if the width is changed, we have to free this whole thing and redraw again. But if, well, width or height change, we have to free this and take another spot and do all the stuff. Otherwise, if it's other things like no. Anyways, yeah, if it's the scroll and stuff, we don't have to free the spot. We can just redraw over it. So we clean this and we redraw. If it's the width or the text itself that changes, we free it and redraw. But I basically reuse the maximum amount of stuff. So those parameters maybe we can be reused. The string that we took, like the string buffer, can be reused or something. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so I have to come up with some sort of a struct that would have like keep these parameters inside and have like a rectangle ID and all the other stuff, like okay, the glyphs and so on and so forth, so that when we are redrawing this, I don't have to recalculate the whole positioning of each character and so on and so forth, and I can spend extra time, because right now it's taking less than a millisecond to draw this, 0.9 something, to lay out the text. It doesn't seem a lot, but then let's say like in if we take this thing, how many texts do we have? There's like one here, and then I don't know, maybe around 50 different texts. So yeah, so it would be good not to have to redraw this every time, like, especially like in this case, like we are scrolling around. When we're scrolling around, I don't have to recalculate it. The browser doesn't have to replace each word. We already know, like, okay, creative is gonna be this wide and so on and so forth. So the only thing we're doing is basically, okay, redraw this. Well, ideally would be not to redraw at all once it's down, but like for example in this case, like we do see a little bit of the text that's here, so we're redrawing and so on and so forth. Yeah. And oh, and probably also I have to clamp. Never mind. I was like clamp, but we just think that this thing is always between the 0 to 1, plus minus some over scroll maybe, so that we can get this whole like nice canvas thing. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, whoever is watching this. And